LUTV News. House Democrats say they are confident about the next steps in their attempt to impeach President Donald Trump.
What will change if the impeachment inquiry goes public?
Plus, a gag order has been issued in the trial over an alleged Russian roulette killing involving 2 St. Louis police officers back in January.
And a Long Beach, California costume party turns fatal. 3 people were killed and 9 were wounded in the shooting rampage.
Those stories and more ahead on LUTV News. Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Ethan Noel.
And I'm Marlena San Nicolas. Thanks for joining us.
On Thursday, the House will possibly vote on a measure regarding the investigation of President Donald Trump. On Tuesday, House Democrats released details of the resolution. The measure would put Representative Adam Schiff in charge of public hearings, but critics say it falls short of giving Republicans an equal role in the investigation. Some Democrats are being careful to say it's not an actual vote to open up official impeachment proceedings. Meanwhile, Representative Schiff is blasting some of the presidential aides who are refusing to appear before his committee in secret, while House Republicans, like Mark Meadows of North Carolina, accuse the Democrats of avoiding transparency.
When they fail to appear, they will be building a very powerful case against the president for obstruction, an article of impeachment based on obstruction.
When you get direct evidence, this president is not only innocent, but he certainly has not done anything impeachable, and it's time that we bring this charade to a close.
President Trump called the impeachment process made-up garbage. On Tuesday, in order to formally impeach the president, at least 20 Republican House members would have to side with all the Democrats.
A St. Louis judge has issued a gag order in the trial of a St. Louis police officer. Nathaniel Hendren is charged with involuntary manslaughter after the January death of fellow officer Caitlin Alex. Prosecutors say that Hendren shot and killed Alex in a Russian roulette-style game. Judge Thomas Clark says the order, which prevents participants in the trial from speaking about it publicly, is important to keep the privacy of possible witnesses. Hendren has pleaded not guilty and is under house arrest and administrative suspension.
3 men have been fatally shot and another 9 people hurt in a shooting at a Long Beach, California house party Tuesday night. Police say more people may have been hurt, but they may have sought medical help on their own. Of the 9 people injured, 5 were considered to have life-threatening injuries. Authorities are looking for at least 1 man who fled the scene. Eyewitnesses say as many as 17 shots were heard.
St. Louis County Executive Sam Page is promising that more changes are coming to the St. Louis County Police Department. After a jury awarded Sergeant with nearly $20 million last week in a discrimination lawsuit, 1 police commissioner has already resigned. Page is considering replacing 3 more commissioners. At Tuesday night's County Council meeting, the board voted unanimously to hire an outside firm to conduct an independent review of the police department. Some people have called for County Police Chief John Belmar to resign as well. Page met with Belmar and has expressed his continued support for the chief.
3 Francis Howell High School students have been suspended after they were caught taking THC gummies in class earlier this month. School officials say the students were acting strangely and they called 911 after they found the drug-laced candies. One of the students had to be treated by the paramedics after eating 4 of the gummies. The students were already involved in an in-school suspension when the incident happened and have been suspended for as many as 45 days. Some parents complain the punishment is too harsh.
A registered sex offender may have tried to persuade an 8-year-old girl to get into his van in St. Anne. Captain Dan Cowsard of the St. Anne Police says the girl was walking to her grandparents' house on Sunday when the man pulled over and spoke to her. The girl ran home and gave a description of the van. The girl was also able to identify the suspect, who is now in custody and awaiting charges.
A federal judge in Georgia has stopped sheriff deputies from putting warning signs in yards this Halloween season. Last year, the Butts County Sheriff's Department began putting signs outside of the homes of registered sex offenders to let families know they should not trick-or-treat at that house. 3 of those individuals sued the department last week. Early Wednesday, the judge stopped the signs, saying they violated privacy laws. The Butts County Sheriff says they don't have time to appeal the decision this year.
The battle over abortion in Missouri has shifted to issues of privacy. State Health Director Randall Williams says he made a spreadsheet to keep track of some patients' menstrual cycles in order to determine who needed multiple procedures to complete an abortion. That statement came during day 2 of an ongoing administrative hearing to determine whether Missouri's only abortion clinic could lose its license over patient safety issues. The head of the St. Louis Planned Parenthood Clinic is calling the move deeply disturbing and accuses the state of cherry-picking data. A decision by the board is not expected until early next year.
A St. Louis woman had to try and stop a thief at her home while she was still at work. Lindsay Erb watched a young man try and steal a package off her front porch through her doorbell Ring app. While watching him slyly put the package up his shirt, she spoke through the app saying, "What are you doing?" And that was enough to scare him off.
Straight ahead on LUTV News. If you need money, St. Louis University is offering to pay you, but what is the catch?
That story and more ahead on LUTV News.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
If anyone is looking to make a few extra bucks, St. Louis University has an opportunity for you. SLU is looking for around 80 people to infect with the flu, and if you choose to do it, you will be paid a little over $3,000, but there is a catch. You must stay in quarantine for about 10 days on the St. Louis University campus.
Have you gotten your flu vaccine? If you're not convinced yet, here's some information that might help you make a decision before we get colder weather.
I do think people should get the flu shot, not just for yourself, but to protect other people in the community. So infants, older individuals, people who are immune compromised, so it protects other people around you from getting the flu as well. Influenza has a lot of symptoms, so high spiky fever, so people often have a fever that's over 100, sometimes as high as 102, 103. Body aches are really, really intense with influenza, really bad headache, chills. People have a cough with influenza, runny nose, sneezing.
I had a fever for a long time. It was like, it would come back and then it would break and it would come back in and then break, and then I had a really bad headache, like terrible migraine. I threw up a couple times, like my stomach was hurting, nauseous, just the whole ordeal. I think it kind of depends if you're like a sickly person or not. So like if you're getting the flu every single year, then I would like maybe look into it, maybe see if it would like work for you, or like you said, maybe like for like younger kids or like older that are like more susceptible like dying from the flu, then yeah, I would. But I mean, I'm neither of those, so.
And again, it's going to protect other people in the community from getting influenza as well, especially people who are vulnerable. So it can protect people from dying from it.
If you're looking for a place to relieve some stress, or maybe just to get some anger out, then the Boxing Therapy Gym might be the place for you. Rolando Dupuy has the story.
Boxing therapy helps you relieve all the stress of the week, plus it's a really fun exercise. Boxing forces you to fully concentrate and forget all the things that bother you. Plus it is fun and it stimulates endorphin production, which makes your brain create the feel-good thoughts. Boxing therapy is located in St. Charles. It is not only a place to get fit, but it's also a place where people can go to get rehabilitated.
It makes me think more, it causes me to forget about my problems a lot, honestly. When you're in the moment doing boxing, it makes you forget about it.
Boxing therapy is different from everything else because it lets you release frustration and stress in a way that other sports and conventional therapy do not.
For example, like if they are going through some depression, some anxiety, those are the main things that we try to target. We sit down, we talk about those things, and we use after we talk, then we use the sport of boxing.
Jose Jones is a licensed professional counselor, retired professional boxer, and a founder of boxing therapy. Two of the major programs are Real Living Champions in Life and the Living Life Without a Label. Boxing puts your body and mind to work, leaving very little room in your head for anything else. The sessions are a combination of counseling and physical work that help with stress, mental illness, and behavioral disorder. It is an environment full of motivation, passion, and strength.
After work, I brought him down. He got to box it out. He said, in the car, "Hey, Mom, that felt pretty cool. Can I come back next week?"
The program is great for everyone and teaches different ways of helping a person face their difficulties so they can handle them in the most effective way possible. For LUTV News, Rolando Dupuy.
The actor and comedian who is best known for playing Ice Cube's dad in the Friday film series is dead. Authorities say John Witherspoon died suddenly at his home on Tuesday. He also starred in series like Barnaby Jones, The Wayans Brothers, and was Spoon on The Tracy Morgan Show.
Say hello to Gaddafi for me. Oh, boy. Oh, woo. Oh, boy. Oh.
The exact cause of death has not been released. Witherspoon was 77 and is survived by his wife and 2 sons.
From ghosts to live performances and legends of Halloween's past, Legends and Lanterns in St. Charles has everything you need to get into the Halloween spirit. I was lucky enough to get more details on this cool event on Main Street, and you would not believe how talented some of these performers are. Take a look.
Legends and Lanterns is an interactive festival for both children and adults to find their Halloween spirit. All along Main Street, St. Charles, there are characters from Halloween's past telling stories and interacting with crowds, and live performances.
On the 4th of August did she chop, chop, chop. On the 4th of August did she chop, chop, chop. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Chop, chop, chop.
So Legends and Lanterns is a spirited guide through, a spirited journey through Halloween history. So there's 25 different legends that are roaming the streets with their lanterns. And we have free hay rides, and the hay rides are narrated by Ghost of St. Charles Past. It's a festival that caters to everybody. So it's family friendly, and it's educational and historical. And it's very entertaining, and it's free for everyone.
With Halloween right around the corner, Legends and Lanterns was the perfect place to get into the spirit, with so many different interactive opportunities and so many fun performances for the crowds to enjoy.
Yo ho, yo ho, pirate's life for me. We built and we sacked, we got me harness yo ho.
For LUTV News, I'm Ethan Noel.
Several police officers from the Wentzville Police Department are bringing smiles to students at Heritage Elementary School. Sergeant Marcus White and police officers on Platoon 4 raised money to buy 10 Halloween costumes for students at the elementary school. The Platoon 4 will also work with the teachers to find students who don't have a costume yet, so they can participate in the Halloween trick-or-treat on Thursday.
These pumpkins right here, I picked them fresh from the farm. Just kidding. From Theis Farm, they are way bigger. And if you're looking to pick some pumpkins this fall season, this is the place to go.
Well, Theis Farm is a vegetable truck farm that we've been growing vegetables since 1885 here in the St. Louis area. And we also have our own market here that we sell fresh produce in for everybody to have for their dinners throughout the summertime, and even a little bit into the fall. Some vegetables will grow when it's cold, like now. Spinach and broccoli and cauliflower, and the greens, lettuces are all starting to come in season. They like the cool weather. Dug up all the sweet potatoes here yesterday. The winter squashes, acorn butternut spaghetti, we'll have a lot of that kind of stuff throughout Thanksgiving. But without a doubt, our busiest time of the year is here in October with our pumpkin patch that we've got set up and all the activities for the kids.
We have pumpkin land, so it's a lot of fun for your family.
This is a fun time for my family and I. We come every year to pick pumpkins here. Normally we get to go out into the fields, but I guess due to the flooding this year we weren't able to. So we're just picking the ones that are sitting here. This place is great. The fun little area. You get to go through all the different little mazes in there.
A lot of it is young activity-based swings and slides, zip lines and tunnels and stuff.
We have goats and like a pig, I think we have a llama or alpaca or something like that, and then a little cow, and then there's horses.
There's also corn mazes, and take a hayride around the farm. And we don't believe in anything scary, so there's not like somebody going to jump out and scare you. So it's really more kid friendly. I will leave up a couple of the rides, the zip line and stuff out there for the kids to do through December to through Christmas. Hopefully everybody comes out and has a good time whether you come to our farm, and hopefully we'll see them this fall, and if not, hopefully we'll see you all next year.
Daylight saving is approaching fast, so don't forget to adjust your clocks back 1 hour on November 3rd at 2 a.m. This will add an extra 60 minutes into the weekend and also shift daylight into the morning hours, making it a little less hard to wake up in the morning during the winter days.
Being a waitress and getting tipped with a lottery ticket usually would not be a good thing. But for O'Fallon's Taylor Russey, it was probably the best tip she's ever received. She was tipped a Powerball ticket by a regular customer, and the Powerball ticket won $50,000. Nothing like $50,000 to start your week. You know, Marlena, crazy enough, I've actually never had much luck in the lottery, but maybe today's the day that my luck will turn around.
Well, you know what, Ethan? I also hope that we get lucky for Halloween. Let's go to Jake to see what's the weather forecast.
Thanks, guys. Coming up after the break, temperatures are going to continue to drop as the week progresses. Is there snow in our future? All that just ahead on LUTV.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to LUTV. Tomorrow is Halloween, and that means candy for the kids and unfortunately cold weather for the rest of us. As of right now, there's a weather front that is in the process of working its way up into the northeast. Things should be clearing out in the next few hours, which may allow the sun to break through. But as you can see, down in Texas and Oklahoma and the Arkansas area, there's another storm that is forming that's going to be making its way up towards us. It may just miss us, but there is a slight chance for showers later on in the day. Right now, there's only about a 20% chance, so bring an umbrella just in case. But it is going to be cold at the very least, so make sure to bundle up. Taking a look at the national map, we see a band of low pressure that's along the west coast down into Texas and up through the weather system that I was talking about earlier. This system is moving to the east, and there's a high pressure block that is coming from the northwest from the Washington and Idaho area. This will be making its way across the country and mellowing out the weather, which could make it a little bit nicer. At the local map, everything across the St. Louis area is pretty cloudy. The temperatures in the area are pretty even, with St. Louis around 41 degrees. St. Charles and Maryland Heights are both about 40 degrees, as well as St. Peter's. O'Fallon is the coldest at 38 degrees, which will change ever so slightly as the temperatures rise as the day progresses to about 40 as well. Looking ahead at the 5-day forecast, Wednesday night temperatures are going to drop down into the mid to lower 30s. Some slight showers are expected around 7 p.m. until about midnight. Those showers could actually turn into some snow around 1 a.m. with a 50% chance until about 7 a.m. That overcast is going to end up sticking around until Thursday, mid-afternoon, when the sun will start to break through and warm up the area. Temperatures are going to stay warm into Friday and the rest of the weekend with a high of 55, but temperatures are going to stay about 50 for the rest of the weekend. That's it for weather. Now let's check in with Chelsea, who has the latest on sports.
The Nationals and Astros will play Game 7 Wednesday to decide the World Series champion. The Washington Nationals won Game 6. So who do you think will be crowned the World Series champion? Let's talk sports. Nationals pitcher Steven Strasburg pitched 8 1/3 innings, only allowing 2 runs. This is the Nationals' 4th elimination win this season. The Astros almost handled everything that Strasburg threw, but he turned it all around by the end of the game. The final score was 7-2. The Houston Astros and Washington Nationals are wrapping up Game 7 of the World Series Wednesday at Minute Maid Park at 7:08 Central Time. St. Louis Blues winger Vladimir Tarasenko is out for 5 months due to a shoulder injury. Tarasenko got tangled up on a partial breakaway with Los Angeles Kings defenseman Sean Walker. The Blues manager, Doug Armstrong, says that Walker's shoulder got under his armpit and thrust it up, dislocating his shoulder. His left shoulder is healing after surgery yesterday. Tarasenko was out of the game just 4 minutes and 37 seconds in. He is placed on long-term injured reserve. St. Louis is constructing a Major League Soccer stadium 3 blocks north of Market Street. This $250 million plus project envisions a 22,500-seat stadium in place of highway ramps, parking lots, and businesses on Olive Street. The MLS plans to take full ownership of the upcoming stadium, but the city of St. Louis has not agreed to this. The stadium will hopefully be opened in time for the first game in March 2022. The Lindenwood Lions football team is up against the 7th-ranked team in the country, the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds. The game kicks off at 1 p.m. at the Harlem C. Hunter Stadium this Saturday. As the GLVC is coming to an end, we'll see if the Lions can pounce on the Greyhounds. The Greyhounds haven't lost a game yet, but who knows, anything can happen this season. The NCAA is going to make college athletes celebrities. They plan to allow student athletes to profit from their name, image, popularity, and much more. The Board of Governors of the NCAA unanimously agrees that players should be able to generate money from their own fame. So if you're a college athlete, prepare to make bank in 2021 from the NCAA. Steal a base, steal a taco. That's Taco Bell's deal. This promotion is for the World Series. Thank the Washington Nationals for your free taco on Wednesday because shortstop Trey Turner stole the first base. Claim your free nacho cheese Doritos Locos taco at participating stores between 2 and 6 p.m. And even if you aren't a baseball fan, you can't pass up free food. And that's a wrap for sports today. Catch me at Taco Bell later getting a free taco. Back to you, Marlena and Ethan.
That's it for this edition of LUTV News. I'm Ethan Noel.
And I'm Marlena San Nicolas. Thanks for joining us.